What's going on, everyone? I just wanted to stop by real quick before this podcast starts and say you should like, comment, and subscribe. And don't forget to follow me on all my social medias at John D. Clouser. Literally the same name as the name that you subscribe to on this YouTube channel. So enjoy this clip, and I'll see you guys on the other side. You have no idea how hungover I was this morning. It was incredible. It was crazy. It was fucked up.
I be damned. Grab your end, big fella. Get low and push with your legs. I got my end, Brody, bro. You get your end. Bring your weak ass on, good buddy. Hold on, let me get a good grip. Let me get up under it. We gonna pick it up on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Welcome to The John Show with your host, John Doogie Clouser.
All right. What is going on, everyone? How are you? We are here on a new episode of The John Show. This is episode 66. Can you believe it? Oh, my God. We're doing another one. You know, it's crazy, right? We sit here, or I sit here every week. Sometimes people tune in. They watch me talk. And then I move on with my life. You move on with your life, and that's how it's going to be. I guess I should probably tell you, I don't know, there might be a late episode of the Aaron and John Show this week. I will have to find a guest to be on because Aaron is actually going to be out of town. This is going to be the start of the long haul of him going to be out of town because I think he has comedy shows. This weekend he's hanging out with his girlfriend because I guess it's a 3-day weekend. So, and then the next couple, I think he's back for a week, and then he starts going on his tours. Tours. How do people say it? How do you say it? Write in the comments. You know, and we'll be right back. Call 999. What was it? Then they say the number. Anyway, so we're here, like I told you, and we're doing an episode. Hope you're doing well. You guys would not believe how hungover I was this morning. So I woke up last night, let me rewind. So yesterday I was hanging with a buddy, like a really good friend of mine. And, they were like, hey, we don't have work tomorrow because it is Memorial Day. I'm like, okay. And they're like, you want to do Sunday Fun Day? I'm like, fuck effing yeah. Because I haven't gone out and let's go out to a bunch of these little breweries in downtown Kansas City, because it's weird how many of them there are. Like in the radius that I was in, I think there were 4 of them, within the matter of 5, a 2-minute walk in between each one. And we went and ate at Grinders. I was stupid and only got 6 wings. It was so dumb. It's like, John, you knew you knew you were going to drink. You knew that. You knew you were going to do that. So why would you only eat 6 wings and expect that's going to do it? This is not a time about your physique, and you should be worried about that. I don't know. I just dropped the ball. So that's where I made my big mistake. First of all, was the fact that I didn't eat a lot, and it's always rule number 1 if you're going to do a day drinking event. So we went to a bunch of different bars. I met this guy named Paul. When I was getting this, it was kind of a flight, and there's just these little shot, basically, I don't know, they're bigger than a shot of alcohol. Maybe it's 2 shots. I don't know, they're that big, and there's 5 of them. And so I just did that, and I was pretty much drunk after that, and it was all downhill after, because we just kept getting, okay, when we go get alcohol, when we go get these beers, let's get them the one with the most alcohol content, and then just do that. That makes the most sense. Just get the most bang on your buck. It's and then I just got absolutely hammered. I don't remember walking home. Oh, I don't remember walking back to the apartment or anything. I know I watched a movie, and it was a 90 it was the early 2000s. Oh, I watched Waiting, and then I watched Chuck and Larry's. Was it Chuck and Larry's, that movie? Oh my God, it's gonna annoy me if I don't look it up. But yeah, I watched those, and then I just remember they use the F word a lot, not fuck, but the one towards the derogatory term towards people who like the same sex. And I'm like, oh my God, it was so crazy that movie just came out with Chuck and Larry. Oh, I pronounced you Chuck and Larry. So that movie came out in 2007. So I was a junior in high school when that movie came out, and they used that word all the time. It was such a big thing because especially as a movie about a two guys who are firefighters, and they get married to each other so a guy can get his wife's pension, or because she passed or she died or something like that. So I'm like, oh my God, like it's so crazy. And even in the movie Waiting, and that one was about, you know, a restaurant and the people who work at this restaurant, and they use the F word a lot too. And I was like, and that movie came out in, I believe, 2006. Waiting, 05. That movie came out in 05. So I was 16 years old. So like a sophomore in high school when that movie came out. I remember when I saw that in theaters. Yeah, that was a good time. Oh, and they made another one. They made Still Waiting. Oh, and Andy Milanaka is in it. Oh yeah, he was in the first one. So duh. I think everyone is pretty much in the second one. That one came out in 09. I haven't seen that, so I might have to look that up and watch that now. Wow. Interesting. Still Waiting. I can only imagine how awful that is. Of course, I can get Ryan Reynolds, because at this point, Ryan Reynolds is 09. He was already doing. Did he do one of his action movies yet at that point? But he was too big of an actor. But yeah, those early ones with Ryan Reynolds, those comedy movies are really good. It's really funny. He like really played that bro character really well. So yeah, but like I said, I got absolutely hammered, and I woke up about 5 a.m, and I'm like, oh no, this is not good. I'm like, you're not gonna be able to get back to sleep until you throw up. So I went and I threw up. But the thing is, like, I didn't eat anything at all most of the time. Like, and so if I would have ate, it would have helped a little bit more. It would have definitely because I didn't even think, because I was so drunk on the way home back to the apartment that I wasn't like, oh, I should stop and get something that's like really fattening and eat that as well. At least like curb the hangover that will probably occur the next day. No, did not think that. I did so many rookie mistakes last night, but it was like Sunday fun day, man. I was hanging out. Dude, it was the first time I've been out in over like a year and a half of doing that. Like, I actually felt comfortable enough to go to these bars, and I'm fully vaccinated, but it's still, I'm like, oh, I should probably still be cautious, because where I work, and then two, just for the sake of humanity as itself, like just wait till there's more of a herd immunity, and so there's less. I don't know. Do you guys believe that? I don't know. I'm just trying to be polite and kind and trying to follow the rules. I don't know. We all have our own way of how we look at this, and so I just did all these rookie mistakes, and I just got absolutely hammered. So I threw up at 5, and then it was like almost every hour, every 30 minutes, I was like throwing up. And I did that, and I just slept until 12, and then I was like, after that, I stopped throwing up. I didn't feel sick anymore. I knew if I just slept it off, it'd be fine. And it wasn't that bad because I was throwing up, but I had nothing, so it was like just all acid. It was this all yellow stomach acid. It was the effing worst. It was awful. It's the worst kind of throw ups you want, because then it goes through your nose and your mouth and it burns everything. So you know how but yeah, it was a interesting, great night. I had fun. I had a lot of fun doing a lot of day drinking. Met this guy who works at a cigarette, it's called a Cigar Box, and it's downtown Kansas City. It was on the way of walking to where we were going. But yeah, so he's like, yeah, come by sometime, man. Just like ask for me, and then, we can have like a cigar together. I'm like, oh, fuck yeah, dude. Because I think cigars are cool. I don't know why, but I think cigars are so cool looking. I don't really like them. And like, I've never smoked a cigar, and then after I did it, be like, I'm glad I did that. I'm really happy I did that. But I like the enjoyment of like, when you do it, it's usually someone you like really like a lot, and you add a little bit of scotch with that. Ooh. Or if I could do tequila on the rocks, in a cigar, pretty fun. So funny though, like, especially I say that, like, I have cigars, and I just don't smoke them that often, because I don't think that, one, I don't think it's really healthy, but two, like, I really like saving those for very special occasions, because my friends in high school, they came from like really uppity parents, and like just very, I guess, upper middle class, and they were all their parents were into like doing that kind of stuff, like, because we all would, during the summertime, we'd all go down to like their lake house and have a good time. And that was like a lot of the times when we did a lot of the dumb stuff. I started doing dumb stuff, so drinking a lot, sneaking alcohol, and then like doing a lot of pot, because that was fun, because like the easiest place to get away from it, because like we'd get on a boat, smoke pot, and come back, and then we'd be fine. or or we'd go over to a friend's house, like get alcohol from there, and come back over to another friend's house, and then we just chill at that house and party. It was so great because but the only thing that sucked is like my friends weren't able to like all go out and like see my vacation house, because my vacation house, my parents had one in Hawaii, so it was a way different. Whenever I did, like only occasionally, only one of my friends would come with me or something like that. But like even though like it was so funny because they go to Hawaii and they're like, oh yeah, they go to luau's and they hang out at the beach, just like that. I used to remember like because we had a house there, this big ass 3-story house. And I remember just going to Home Depot all the time and we'd be working on the house, adding stuff onto it. Because like my parents bought it for like $99K and ended up selling it for like $450K or something like that. It was insane. They made a big profit off of it. Because they added 2 more bathrooms and then a bedroom to the house or something like that. And it was so weird how it worked. So you'd walk in, kitchen, there'd be a bathroom over to the right, the washer and dryer over here. But what's really interesting about Hawaii is that most of the time, washer and dryers are outside. So weird. I always thought that was so weird. That was the one thing, like going there. I'm like, why do people do it outside? Why do they wash and dryer outside? Because I'm like, all right. Well, I guess because it's an island. It's different people. They have different ways of living. John, don't judge them. Anyway, so and then you'd walk up to like the second flight, and that would be all the bedrooms. And then we added 2 more bathrooms on the side of that part of the house. And then you go up another flight of stairs, and then it's just the living room, which was so weird. And then was so interesting, was so much fun, was the fact that like it had this window that had this ledge, and so you just had a step. Like if you had a step stool, you could just take a step on this ledge, and then go outside and be on the roof of the house. And the roofs of the houses in Hawaii are all made out of tin, so it's way different. It's different material than like houses in the Midwest are made or anything like that. And you'd be up there, and that's when I really started like my friend. I had a friend that lived next door, and she was my age. She was like maybe a year older, a grade older than I was. And I was like, hey, and this is probably a really question, but like, do you know anybody that has any pot? So she would direct me to someone who would give it. So give me my number. I'm like, hey, dude, I'm friends with this person, and I'm just in town. I'm her next door neighbor. I'm visiting from the mainland. I would just want to know if like I could possibly like pick up some, like, and I would always get like a just a dime bag, or I would get just a like our $20 sack, like something like that. Nothing crazy, because I just wanted to just have enough, because I was always super paranoid I was going to get caught with it. So, but this is how I got away with doing like things like that, was that I would get it, I'd roll them up in joints, and then on the side of the house that was added on, there's this little lip underneath it. And so I would take it into the plastic sack, roll it up, put everything in there, and then I would just duct tape it, and I'd duct tape it into that ledge. And so no one ever knew that there was pot in there, unless you walked by it and you could smell it. But I just wrapped it up really good, and I put, those the dryer sheets on them. And so like I tried at least deaden it a little bit, and then that's what I do. And then I'd go out there at night when the sun goes down, grab a joint, go up to the roof of the house, and then I would just smoke pot and just like look at the stars. It was really awesome. It was a really fun time, because it was at a dead end, and it was right at the beginning of this huge housing development that was about to like completely take over this big field. Like, I mean, it was like no joke, like I don't know, like 30 acres. But it was all it looked like a big old, like water, like rainforest. It was really cool. And then in the very far distance, when you walked out of our front yard, you could see the volcano, the one that made the island. And then all the lava would go out onto the other side into the water. It was really awesome. It was a really cool time. Out of all that was, even though like I was doing a lot of just manual work on that house, and occasionally we would spend like a day going to the beach. Yeah, that was it. Like, cause like everyone's like, oh yeah, we're gonna do the whole time we're gonna do all this fun activity. It wasn't like we had 1 day or 2 days of fun activities of the week that we were there, or the week and a half that we were there, because we just wanted to try to get as much done as we could, because we weren't going to be back for a couple months. But it was probably the coolest experience that I have growing up. My whole life has always been kind of crazy, in the sense of just, being adopted from a third world country, having like, then reconnecting with my biological family, biological father, all that stuff. And then coming to the States, going to college, playing playing sports. Like I just had like this really awesome life that most American kids who are born in America don't have, and I gotta have it. I played on like Nike traveling basketball teams, and I would travel all throughout the United States. I've been over the United States just as a young kid, a teenager who's just decently above average at playing basketball. I got to see the whole United States because of it. And how funny is that? How cool is that? Is some kid who was from Honduras, was abandoned at the foot of a church, was in orphanages up until like close to the age of 6, and came to the United States not knowing very much English. And then I found a talent at playing basketball, and I was able to travel the United States with it as an adolescent kid. I'm like, oh, this is fun as shit. And then I just kind of realized I was too short. I'm never going to play major like professional basketball, and I'm like, I'm not going to play college because I could play like maybe D3 or NAIA or something like that in basketball. So I just switched over to football, and that was like big time because it was seriously 9.5 months of basketball and then only 3 months of football, however long football lasted. Then I went back to basketball, and I just did all that the rest of the year, and I would travel, and it was interesting. So like my whole life has been cool. I've been really lucky to have this life that not even most American kids get to have. But yeah. So anyway, what else is there to talk about? We have about like 13 minutes left. Like I told you guys, I'm a man of a lot of drinks. So I have water. I have flavored water with tea in it, like with peach tea. And then I have mango and pineapple flavored water. All look different shades of pea. They just look like pea. So that's what I do. That's like, I am always that guy who has all these different drinks. I always have a gallon of water, or I have my gallon of water. And then what I like to do, because I'm really bougie, I have one of the tall boys. I like to call them the tall boys of like your protein shaker. And I like to put ice in that, and I dump water. I'm like, dude, because my thing is like, make it, if you have to be as bougie like that to get your water down, at least you're getting your water down, right? And the thing is, in the water, then the ice melts in the water and you have more water. It's insane how this whole thing works. It's a twofer, really, to tell you the truth. So yeah, I want to talk about a little bit about this. Do you see like this last couple the playoff games in the NBA? This racism stuff, man, it's getting kind of weird. It's gotten stupid at this point. I'm a brown person, but I don't understand racism. I don't get it. It makes no sense to me. Like, everybody has like their weird things. Everybody has like their really cool things that they do. And like, why don't we just try to get to know each other more? Like, we live in America, and like the coolest thing is like if we had less losers, and we have all the ability to have all the best of every race mixed together and like make a unified like awesome thing called the United States. And like, I don't know why we choose to sit here and be like, no, well, we can only have this amount, or like, why are we holding down like this group of people or this group of people, and like white people. And it's always been, history shows is white people doing this shit. And I'm like, I'm not saying all white people are bad. I'm not saying all that or that. I'm not saying that at all. But I'm not saying at all that all brown people are saints and we're all good, because we have our fucked up people too in our people as well. Like, there's corruption in a lot of Central American countries. There's a hell of a lot of it. There's Asian countries that have are dictatorships. There's African countries that have genocides going on. So like, there's things in all different sorts of the world and all sorts of races of people. But the thing is, like, we live in the United States where we don't have to worry about that. Think about the stuff that we worry about. We talk about like, oh, you misgendered somebody, you used the wrong pronoun for them, you dead named somebody, or all these things, these silly things. And these are things that we don't need to be. We have all the time to worry about this because we made it so easy to get food. And it's so funny how we have time to have hatred in the NBA, and especially like in the NBA when it is like 102% black. Like, majority of it is like black people. Like, so, and you are able to, if people were able to wear their jersey, people would wear their jersey, and it's going to be a black person, but that you can then spit on that black person or call them hateful terms, or like talk down to their family, call it like their father. I'm gonna put a quarter in you and I'm gonna watch you dance, boy. Like, it's like, why would you say that? That's like not even. The thing is, what about that is, it's not even just normal racism of just saying the N-word. That's like you have to do some research to find something like that and see where that came from and why that was a term. Like, so if you're using the term boy towards black people, then like there's some real hatred deep down inside. And it's just silly and it's stupid and it's gross. It's incredibly gross. Like, it's the same thing with like not liking gay people, which I think if you don't like gay people, that's, and I know I've talked about this before, but that's way gayer that is so much gayer than what they're doing. Like, you're making signs and you're doing all this time to like bring up attention of like gay people shouldn't have gay people shouldn't be able to like get married and stuff like that. Like, why do you care about how they come? You're literally upset by how they come. That's all it is. That's it. That's it. That is all you're upset about. And it's stupid if you think about it like that. Think about it like that. It's like, why would you care about like how like John and Mary come, and that's okay, but you care about how Tyler and Kyle come and they come together. It's like, so it's just weird. It's off to me. But all right, I'm off my soapbox because it's just but it's just silly. I just wanted to bring it up a little bit and just be like, hey, I think we're better than this. And I think anybody who's listening to this or would be listening to me would kind of be like, yeah, the racism's kind of stupid. It's kind of dumb, John. Yeah, we get this. Like, and I get it too. Okay. But yeah, so we have that. What is that? I wrote down this note here. It said that I made eye contact with the chick at the gym and I got scared. I don't know why. I don't like making eye contact with people, or in the sense of like, it's really weird because I'm always afraid, especially in the gym or something like that, like when women are wearing like leggings, and I don't want them to think that like I'm ogling over them or anything like that. It's always funny when I'm at the Walmart and I'm leaving and like someone else is coming this way, I'm coming this way, and it's a woman, and I'm like, I'm gonna end up being behind her, and I could feel them like kind of like looking over, like grabbing like their keys, or they end up like walking over to the side and act like they're grabbing something from the purse because they probably think that like I'm gonna do something, and like that's fucked up because like, and the thing is like, I get it, men are like, again, there's a lot of shitty men in the world that would do that would rape women, and I'm just like, oh no, trust me, I'm way more afraid right now in this moment than you're afraid. Trust me, because if you could see how mine is and what my intention would ever be, would just be like, hey, how are you, bye, and I just want to leave, I just want to walk away. I'll walk away really fast. So it is hilarious to me. That's one of those funny things, but I don't know why I wrote that, because I know it's the funny thing. When I write my notes, I have to make them really elaborate, because if I only write something like that and I ask why, then I never know what the punchline was. I have to write down the punchline as well, because that's usually how I write. I write in a setup something, and then I give it a little like funny little throw in at the end of it, just see if it works. But yeah, that's what I did. That's what I wrote. My next thing I have is that, like, oh yeah, I don't know what brought this up or what made me run me, because I was talking to you about my parents and my friends, and coming from like a upper middle class family, suburban family in suburban area, or like having friends that were like that. But like, what's so funny? My mom would never let me, until I got into high school. My mom would always, if I had to wear a button-up shirt at school, I'd always have to tuck it in, because she thought it was like you have to be really professional and look proper all the time. It was really, to me, it was always funny, because hold on real quick. All right, I just wanted to make sure that the audio was recording. I'll explain that in a second. So yeah, she always wanted to make sure I was always like, I had to be super proper all the time, which is like good. Like, now since I'm older, like I know how to like be respectful and like look presentable. And I think that's what annoys me sometimes when I see people post online and they're like, oh yeah, you got to be able to do the switch up, like the switch up or something like that, where like they go from like looking all baggy and like, like they're just at home, like home lounging, to looking like professional or looking nice in a certain situation because they're going to go to a dinner. And it's just like, yeah, you should know how to do that. You're an adult. You should be able to know how to dress for the occasion that you're doing. Like, this is not rocket science, guys. Like, and I know it's just like people are just trying to like look good and they're just trying to express themselves. I get that. I'm joking. It's a joke. It's so funny because sometimes I have people who meet me and like I always make jokes of those kind of things. Like I think like even yesterday I was hanging out with some people and I was like, they're like, yeah, John, like why don't you ever like you don't ever like you get such like boring food. I'm like, well, yeah, because I never eat out that much, and because like this food to me is like clown food. It looks like something like a clown would eat, like the colors and the flamboyancy of like the presentation of food. It's like, dude, I eat ground beef and rice almost every day, like all the time. And it's just because like it's just one less thing I have to worry about. If I can just have meals done, made, I'll just eat that. I don't care. Like I've been homeless. I've lived in orphanages where all we had was like a soupy like rice and butter and sugar kind of thing. It was like normally like that, but it was just like soupy. It was almost like a cream of wheat kind of thing. That's it. That's what we had. Like very cliche. That's what we had. It was poor third world country. What do you expect? So yeah, like I'm like, yeah, this is like whatever. So like, I'm like, yeah, if I get wings, I'm just gonna get boring ass like mild, and I'm gonna dip them in ranch, and I'm gonna be done with it. I'm gonna just be like, all right, okay, we did it. We expanded our horizons a bit, Juan, and it's just silly. I know it's silly, and like some of my friends are like, yeah, John, it's a little weird. It's a little weird. I'm like, I know I'm weird. I'm weird in this. That's the kind of shit that is weird that I'm weird of. Because I don't need anything. I'm like, yeah, like what do you want? Do you want a pizza? I'm like, well, I never eat pizza that much because it's just like, I don't know. I like being healthy, and that maybe too. Like I can really separate food from like the caloric value versus just like something that looks fun and it tastes good because it's like really sugary or salty. And so I'm just like, I guess, I don't know, a cheese pizza. Like, well, you don't ever do any, like, what? You don't want to eat all this other stuff? Like, no, because I don't like pork, and like most pizza stuff has pork on it. And I don't like, well, and then I don't like I think all those other things, like deep dish pizzas, I think that's gross. Like, I'd rather just eat lasagna, like, as basically lasagna. Just do that. Just eat that. Don't quit wasting your time. It annoys me. One of my biggest annoyances is just like over elaborate looking food. Like donuts, all that stuff. It's like, dude, what's wrong with just like a Krispy Kreme donut? What's wrong with that? Or what's wrong with like a blueberry donut? And you know what? That's the reason why they make them, John. They make those for people like you who are just boring. And I get it. When it comes to the food stuff, I'm very boring, but like I am very exciting in other ways. I think I am very knowledgeable in film, and I know a lot of film, and I show people film. I'm like, hey, look at it this way, and it'll change your whole perspective of something, of your life, maybe. And that's what this might sound really pretentious. I'm really good at my laundry. I fold it all the time. I'm very good at folding. I'm really good at being like consistent. Like on this episode, like I was like this morning, I'm like, my friend's like, are you about to do your podcast and stuff tonight? I'm like, I don't know. I don't know how hungover I'm going to be. I might be really hungover. So I was like, fuck. I'm like, that was so stupid on so many reasons because you still have so much work you got to do. But I busted through it. I ate some food today. I'm like, all right, well, we're going to have to face the day anyway, John. Let's do it. And then I'm doing this podcast now. So anyway, guys, I have like a minute and a half left. Can you believe it? We've gotten all the way here. We're in the descent of this podcast. So I want to say, if you have gotten this far, thank you. Like, comment, and subscribe. Hope you guys had a great Memorial Day weekend. Hope you guys stayed safe. Hope you guys are doing well. Getting your vaccination, wearing your mask, not wearing your mask. I don't know. It's a really weird time. We're in a limbo. Things like look like we're kind of coming out on the back end of this, but who knows? We don't know yet. We're just here trying to live life. I have a minute, so I'm just trying to kill a bunch of time on this podcast. So I'm just trying to kill this last minute. Well, anyway, I need to stop saying so and anyway. I think those are the last two. I got out a lot. I don't say anymore, but so and anyways. That's like the two things I need to get out because those are filler words, and I don't like doing that stuff because it doesn't sound professional. I'd rather sound like tight professional speaking, because I'm asking you to, like, if I'm asking you to come and listen to me talk, I should be able to know how to talk. Am I right? Am I wrong? I don't think I'm wrong. Where's the lie? Anyway, I'll see you guys on the next episode. Be safe. Thank you so much for watching again, and we'll be done in 3, 2, 1. Cut the black.